So to really have an estate winery, it usually historically takes 3 generations. The first generation will acquire the land and homestead it. The second generation will plant grapes, and the third will start a winery. But Mom and Dad did the first 2 steps for us.
When Coral Brown's parents first purchased an abandoned 500-acre farm in 1980, they didn't know their children would grow up to become Napa's first Black-owned winery.
And they bought this property as a place, sort of an escape from the city, where we could work together as a family and bond together.
Originally, their dad was from Jamaica and their mom was from Panama. Both, though, worked at the family practice they purchased in Los Angeles. So when they bought the Napa Valley farm, their 3 kids, Coral, Deneen, and David, were a little puzzled when they learned their parents were going to be growing grapes.
Mom and Dad, in fact, they weren't wine drinkers at all. They were in the medical field.
Homesteading the farm was tough for the Brown family. They first had to fix up the dilapidated farmhouse and barn, and then learn how to plant a crop of Zinfandel vines. David Brown says his parents got a lot of help from the community in Napa Valley.
When we first moved here, there was just one telephone line, so, it's like a party line with the neighbors, so you got to know everybody, and everybody, if you needed something or your tractor broke down or whatever, everybody was helping. We were all kind of in the same boat.
David says his parents made friends with winemakers throughout the Napa Valley, and as the farm grew, he started to learn the ins and outs of winemaking.
Growing up, I didn't know that this was an option.
In the beginning, the Brown family focused solely on growing and distributing grapes, but in 1995 and 96, all 3 of the Brown children made the decision to start their own winery.
It was not really what they wanted us to do. They wanted us to become doctors. And when we said, you know what, we want to take it to the bottle, they said, well, I guess we need to keep up with the times.
With David taking over the winemaking process, the rest of the family turned the dilapidated farmhouse and barn into a winery and a place of business, which included constructing a wine cave to store all the product.
Yeah, it took about 9 months of blasting to get this entire cave.
Brown Estate became their flagship label, followed by their second label, House of Brown, each wine telling the family story and the Napa Valley community that welcomed them.
My dad would always say, it's such a fraternal place. Everybody helps everyone else. And it's part of the Napa Valley culture.
The Browns do recognize that people of color face barriers starting farms and owning wineries, but they're living proof that with family and the right community to back you up, anything's possible.
And there are plenty other Black farmers now, small wineries here and there, and it's very inspiring to us to see that maybe we opened the door.
For Black History Month in Napa Valley, I'm John Bartel.